Welcome. My name is Steve Page. I'm the Treated Manager Business Developer for Allweather Wood, and welcome to our webinar on preserving wood for the future. This information is copyrighted under Allweather Wood. Little history about Allweather Wood. We began operations in 1985 in Washougal, Washington. Throughout the years, we've grown and we now operate 5 wood preservation treated lumber and manufacturing, along with distribution facilities located in California, Colorado, Oregon, and Washington. Our capabilities include high-speed incising, custom pre-staining, various waterborne preservatives, and third-party quality control inspection in accordance with AWPA industry standards. Allweather Wood now ranks as the largest waterborne preservative-treated lumber, plywood manufacturer in the western United States. For more information on our company, please visit us at www.allweatherwood.com for information that include resources, SDS sheets, preservatives, treated wood safety, usages, and a current list of stocking dealers. In this presentation, we will deal with applications where wood is exposed to moisture, insects, fungal organisms. Preservative treated wood can help ensure the durability. By the time you've completed this course, you should understand why there's a need for preservative treated wood, how we manufacture and process preservative treated wood, and get answers to commonly asked questions. So why treated wood? Well, wood is a natural, durable product, but it's constantly under attack from nature. And wood preserving offers solutions against those particular items that attack wood, such as carpenter ants, wood-boring beetles, termites, decay, fungi, rot, fire, and the natural environment. Today, there's over $5 billion worth of damage annually from insect attack, and these would be Formosan termites, carpenter's ants, and wood-boring beetles. Here's an overview of termite infestation probability in the United States, and where it's very high, as you can see in the orange, to none to slight in the blue. Here's another overview of the United States along with Hawaii and Alaska that shows moisture and potential problems for rot and decay. And as you can see again, the probabilities are high in the red, and those would be Hawaii and the southeast regions, and very low in what we call the inland basin market. So what's the solution? Wood preserving offers many options to help protect wood against these natural and nature attacks. We extend the service life of wood for decades. We maintain reliable physical and mechanical properties. It's readily available. It's safe to work with. It's very cost effective, and it's a sustainable product. Many options available in both waterborne and oil-borne residential, commercial, and industrial use applications. So basically what we do is we start with nature's product, which is a tree. We turn it into wood, and then we wood preserve it. And that basically we enhance the product to make the product last longer. So who determines preservatives are safe? All wood preservatives must be registered with the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, otherwise known as the EPA. They detail the risk reviews for human and health and environmental impacts, and they also review product labels and designate where treated wood can be used in construction methods. Who sets the standards for preservative treated wood usage? That would be the American Wood Protection Association, known as the AWPA. The AWPA writes the standards or organizational standards for the U.S. construction and codes. They reference all building codes. They determine if preservatives are effective for their intended use and can be listed in the standards as well. They also establish how much preservative is needed, what the retention level is, depending on those applications and exposures. Here are some common uses of preservative treated wood products in commercial applications. That would be framing members found on foundations or in direct contact with concrete, such as wood frame over podium construction. Any wood used in balconies, porches, partition walls, exposed beams, fascias, trims, stairs, and anything that's directly exposed to the weather or moisture areas. Along with these would be fire retardants, lumber and panels that are used today for studs, roof and floor sheeting, stairwells, trusses, common walls, and HVAC rooms. This would include sill plates, headers, posts, and beams. Common uses of preservative-treated wood in residential applications: permanent wood foundations, ledgers, structural and non-structural retaining walls, porches, flooring, deck boards, railing, stairs, fascia, trim, etc. This would include joist, beams, and sill plate. Safe use of treated wood. Precautions for preservative-treated wood are generally the same as for non-treated wood, with one exception: do not burn preservative-treated wood. Avoid frequent or prolonged exposure to sawdust. Dust masks are recommended, as they are with untreated wood. And consumer information sheets, SDSs, are available from preservative manufacturers. Disposable items of treated wood. Reusing preservative-treated wood is always the preferred option. We don't recommend mulching with it. Again, we don't recommend burning it unless it's in a commercial and industrial incinerator. However, treated wood is not considered a hazardous waste and can be disposed of at landfills. So let's talk about the manufacturing process. We've created a video here that will visualize the actual process of treated wood and how that works and give you a better overview.
Hi, my name is Katie Sullivan. I'm the plant manager on the treated side of the business. Treated lumber is lumber that has been processed in a pressure treating cylinder, where preservative is forced into incision marks that we've made. The preservatives are designed to help protect against fungal decay and termite attack. So first, the full unit of lumber is broken down into a single layer and transferred into the incisor. The incising process happens on the raw lumber, which prepares the lumber for the treatment process. Directly after the incisor, it goes through a stain booth that provides the color that we've selected. After the stain booth, it's then transferred to the stacker and put into the standard unit size. Then from the stacker, it goes to the banding station. It gets banded and tagged for inventory. So once it's banded and tagged, it then sets for 24 to 48 hours until the stain is dried. It's important that it's dried prior to the treatment process so we can ensure that the color quality is there. Prior to the pressure-treated lumber being removed from the drip pad, it must be drip-free, dry, and also tested for injection and retention. Once the incised stained lumber is dry, it's loaded onto the carts and pushed into the pressure treatment cylinder. There is a vacuum pump system that removes the air from the treatment cylinder. Nearly 25 mercury inches is achieved in this vacuum process. Once the treatment cylinder is full with the preservative, it's brought under pressure to 150 psi. It remains at that pressure until the required retention and injection is met. The final step, the vacuum pump is activated, achieving the 25 mercury inches, transferring the preservative back to the preservative storage tank. Once the cylinder is empty, the door is unlocked and the pressure-treated lumber is removed on the rail system. The lumber is then removed from the rails and set on the 100% contained EPA-certified drip pad. There it will remain until it is drip-free. Generally, that's 24 to 48 hours, if not longer. All excess preservative that is collected off the drip pad system is then recycled and used on future pressure treatments. Once all required criteria are met, the lumber is then removed and prepared for shipment to the customer. When you build with our pressure-treated lumber, you can be assured that your project will be built to last.
So that's a great video on how to visualize the process of treating wood. Now let's get into the details of treating wood. So as the video showed, here in the West, We have what we call West Coast species products, and that would include Doug fir and hem fir. This species must be incised to meet building codes and the American Wood Protection Association standards. Southern yellow pine, which is a prevalent wood in the east, south, and the northeast, does not require incising. So these pictures here will visualize what they are. They're drums. They're called incisor knives, just like what we look at when we talk about incising teeth. These are the same scenario. They cut into the wood and allow the preservative to penetrate. So after incising, the product goes through what we call pre-staining, and stained products were introduced into the Pacific Northwest about 20 years ago or so as a finished product for decks, fencing, railings, and more. The stained products became so popular in the Western markets that they now represent the best-selling product line we have throughout the Western United States. After incising, the material goes through a stain booth, as we just discussed, and that provides the stain a color, and there are various colors depending on what preservative manufacturer and what treating plant there is. After pre-staining, the incised material is then air dried prior to the treating process. So let's talk a little bit more about the treating process. We start with dry wood, which is loaded into the retort or pressure cylinder, and then there's an initial vacuum that is applied to remove air from the treatment process. The treatment cycle is then controlled by the plant operator according to the requirements needed to meet the AWPA retentions and penetration standards for a particular application. Again, on the process, the retort is then flooded with preservative solution after the initial vacuum. When the retort is full, pressure is applied. This pressure could range from 150 psi to 200 psi, depending on the species and the retention required. Pressure is then held for a specific length of time, which will vary depending on the species and the retention. This part of the process forces the preservative into the wood. After the pressure process has been met, there is a drain process, then a final vacuum, and then a final drain. Pressure is then released and the preservative is drained back into the work tank for reuse again. Processing times depend on the species treated and the retention requirements. Materials then unloaded from the retort and transferred to the drip pad where air dry or drip dry until it's ready for shipment or into inventory storage. Core samples are then taken to check for penetration standards and the requirements under AWPA standards. An assay is done to the core samples and the results are documented for future reference and use. Here are some common questions and some answers that we commonly see regarding preservative treated wood. If pressure treating extends the life of the wood, does that mean the wood will last forever? The answer is no. Preservative treated wood is not guaranteed to last forever. However, we do increase the durability of the wood by adding the pressure process. The treatment process helps guard against decay and termite attack. The treatment process doesn't change the fact that wood may experience some of the same issues as untreated wood does, such as splitting, cupping, and checking. Routine maintenance such as staining and sealing, end coating, and cleaning extends the life of preservative treated wood. What is incising and why is treated wood in the Western United States have to be incised? Really, we've kind of gone over that, but really it's the species. The species that we have out here in the Western United States are refractory species, and we need to incise them to allow the solution to be driven deeper into the fibers of the wood, especially in the heartwood. This increases its ability to resist fungal decay and termite attack. Incising is a requirement for these species, including Doug fir and hem fir in the western U.S. These species have cell structures that, again, are more difficult to penetrate, and we need to do this to meet the requirement under AWPA standards. This concludes the Allweather Wood presentation, Preserving Wood for the Future, and we thank you.